Good morning. Certainly a different setting to what you're used to for one of my videos. Down on the beach, it's quite early. Everybody's waiting for the sun to burn off the early morning cloud. There's a few swimmers, but here I am with my chair and some rod sections. So let's set up shop. Right. I receive many messages and comments and questions about many things, and one of the questions I've been asked recently are about the coloured bands on my rod. What do they represent? Well, that's a very easy question to answer. They actually represent bands for catching your fly onto, and this is what they are. They are an elastic silicone ring that are made by Stonfo in Italy, and they're very easy to operate, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Right, this is a butt section of a rod. Now, there is no stripping guide on this particular section, so all you have to do is take out a ring. It doesn't really matter what colour, that's entirely up to you, and just thread it over the end of the rod, or the section, and just pull it down to wherever you want it to be. As I say, they're quite stretchy, they're elasticated, and when you are walking with your rod that is already set up, you just hook your point fly into that section, and further up the rod on another section you will have another ring, and that is where you'll hook onto the dropper. Now, when I go fishing, I actually have my rods already made up, flies, but the rods are split in half, and I just hook the flies onto these rings, and they're quite easy to move, as you can see. Oh, incidentally, this dot here is a marker. Now, for competition anglers, the minimum distance between two flies is 50 centimeters, which is about 20 inches, and that is from hook eye to hook eye. So this marker here represents 50 centimeters to the butt, the end of the butt of the rod here. So when I'm fishing, I know when I'm getting close to that marker, I've got to change my tippet for fear of contravening the rules. But even for non-competition anglers, it's not a bad point to make on the rod, because going less than 20 inches is not necessarily good for fishing. So that's just an incidental point. Now, you may say, but how do you get it onto another section? Now, this section obviously has snake eyes, and that is equally as easy, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we take off this ring, put that piece down, and we slide that onto this piece, which seems more difficult than it actually is. There. Now, the way in which we put this over the eye, if I can find one, I've got it here somewhere. Dead easy. Take a large hook, preferably with no barb, and hook it onto the silicone or underneath the silicone, and all you do is just stretch it over the eye. take out the hook. I'm frightened of dropping it and losing it in the beach, so, and you just push that up to wherever you want it. And the same can be applied on any of these eyes, however far you want it up or down the rod section. Fairly simple. Now you may be saying, what if you have a stripping guide? If you have a stripping guide of something like this, then the system is exactly the same. So let's put that into practice. Just going to put the hook on my knee. I take out another ring. And we thread this on. There. Up to the eye. And it's exactly the same principle. Hook underneath the elastic silicone. This is possibly a bit small, this hook. And lift it over the eye. I made that look a little more difficult than it actually is because of the size of the hook. It's possibly not big enough. But as you can see, it's quite easy to go over a stripping guide, and there you have the ring and exactly the same section that you want it to be in. Now, it may be that if that section has other eyes on it, that you start from the smaller one and go down towards the larger eye. But I wanted to use that as an example if you had a stripping guide on your butt section, and then you have no option but to go over it. So that shows you how it all works. So a simple operation, and believe you me, it saves an awful lot of tangles when you're walking between positions when you're fishing, with that dropper bobbing up and down, getting caught on your line or on your rod. I know some people may use their rings, their eyes, their guides for hooking onto, but they do come undone, and it's not always in a convenient place for hooking up the flies. So it's a great little option, and that explains why I have these coloured rings up my rods. Okay, thanks for viewing. I hope you learned something and got something from the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'm off for a paddle.